everybody, it's Lisa here. So this is the second video talking about the positive signs and symptoms of full recovery. And last week I posted a video about talking about the 9 common physical signs and symptoms of full recovery. We talked about things like having better sleep or getting back your period, having better digestion, normal hunger cues, and so on. And if you haven't seen that video yet, then I will link it down below and definitely go and watch it. But today I'm gonna talk about 9 mental positive signs and symptoms that will indicate that you are getting closer to full recovery. But before we start, please subscribe to my channel, also like this video and read my book, Everything I Did to Get to My Full Recovery, and check out a few online courses on my website on how to recover step by step, how to kickstart your recovery, and also how to get your period back, and all the links will be in the description. But now let's get on with today's video. So what are the mental symptoms of full recovery? Firstly, no food obsession. When someone comes from a disordered eating or has an eating disorder, then the food obsession is one of the most common symptoms. You may feel like your whole day revolves around food, what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. You may be obsessed with recipes, planning your meals, worrying about what you eat or what you will eat later, and so on. All of this is mentally so exhausting. And when this finally stops, oh my god, so much mental space is left to think about like other stuff and focus on other stuff again. So in recovery, when you're properly feeding yourself, resting, de-stressing, your body gets physically recovered. And then the food obsession also stops because your body comes out of this like starvation state. Because in starvation, it makes total sense that if you are deprived of food, you have to be obsessed with food in order to search more food. But once the food is abundant, you are eating properly, you get back to energy balance, there is no need for constant food obsession anymore. Therefore, the closer you get to full recovery, the food obsession will go away and eventually it will completely stop. And this mental freedom of no longer thinking about food all day, no longer obsessing about food all day, is one of the best signs for so many people in full recovery. And the next sign is neutral response to food. Because for most people who have eating disorders, then food will spark a lot of intense emotions. Emotions like guilt, shame, anxiety, fear. And also in recovery, there's gonna be so much emotions regards to food and eating because you literally have to do the opposite action. Everything you have been avoiding, everything you have to do in recovery. It can feel so challenging, it can feel so hard, but eventually as you do this and you nutritionally restore your body, but also you rewire your brain by doing those opposite actions, then over time your response to food will become more normal, and eventually it's gonna be neutral, where you can eat whatever you want, eat your previous like fear foods or the forbidden foods, and no longer feel guilty, no longer feel shame, and instead you feel relaxed, you can enjoy it, and all the struggle with food will stop, and it's gonna feel more easier, neutral, and natural. Next positive mental sign is improved cognitive functioning. Things like having better concentration, being able to read many pages of the book. So many people told me that when they had their active eating disorder, or even like in the first parts of their recovery, it was so hard to focus on like reading even like one page of a book. Also, you may notice that you feel more focused, more engaged in conversations, for example, or just engaged in whatever you're doing. You may also notice more positive and rational thinking. When in eating disorder, your thoughts were maybe often in extremes or really like catastrophizing situations, and everything was so like black and white for you. And then now you're able to think more positively, more rationally, more logically. You may notice better memory. You may learn things better, maybe developing new skills become easier, better work performance, easier to study for school, and so on and on. Next, you may have so much less anxiety. Most people in eating disorder experience some level of anxiety, and I'm not gonna say that eating disorder recovery is gonna erase like all anxiety. Anxiety can be there for so many other reasons, but the eating disorder by itself can cause so much anxiety just because like your body is going through so much stress when it has the eating disorder, and it's literally operating on fight and flight response all the time. So once you recover from an eating disorder, the anxiety can also decrease a lot. You may feel more calm, more at peace. It's easier to relax and wind down. Maybe before you couldn't even like sit down and be still for a while, like you had to like move around all the time. Then now you're able to like sit down and be relaxed. It can also feel like part of your personality changes, or maybe you actually feel that you are getting back your old personality. You are still the same person, but maybe just like more calm and relaxed and a little bit more chill. The next thing you may notice is less OCD and compulsive behaviors, because eating disorder by itself can also cause a lot of like OCD symptoms and compulsive behaviors. In eating disorder, you feel like you have to follow lots of rules and you are so rigid about some things. Things have to be done your way. If something changes in your routine, it's very hard for you. You easily freak out. You're not able to be flexible or spontaneous. Everything is like so controlled. Also, maybe in eating disorder, you struggle with compulsive movement and constantly like fidgeting and doing this like low level movement, or of course things like over exercising. But now as you make progress in your recovery and you come out of this like fight and flight, you have so much less stress, plus your body and your brain is fully nourished, then over time a lot of the OCD symptoms can also improve. A lot of the like compulsive behaviors can also go away. So in full recovery, you no longer have any food rules. You are able to like eat out with others. You are more flexible. You can be more spontaneous. All the behaviors that before kept you safe is no longer a thing. Your eating is more free and more normal in general. You will also experience having better mood and more positive thoughts overall. Maybe you're not as irritable or as angry as you felt before. Maybe before you felt like you are making like such a big deal with any like small things. Many situations that previously maybe triggered you or triggered the eating disorder feel less important now, and you're able to be more relaxed and rational about it. And if in eating disorder you were constantly thinking of the worst case scenarios, then always thinking rather negatively, then now it's easier to think positively, more rationally. Maybe you can easily see the positive side of many experiences, because again, like if your body and brain are starved, it's so hard, or even like if not like impossible, to think positively. If you're hungry, then having like irritability and outbursts of anger is very common. So overall, like having better mood and more positive thinking is another good sign and symptom that your body and your brain are getting out of the malnutrition, and also there is this like mental rewiring happening. The next thing you may start to notice is improved body image and just a general like a better relationship with yourself. And of course, like these things I feel are like ongoing things. It's an ongoing journey. In today's society, like just because we are recovering from an eating disorder, we are like unbrainwashing from this diet culture, doesn't unfortunately mean that the whole society is also recovering. No, we are still bombarded with like those messages, and sometimes like having a bad body image day is something that will just happen because our culture is not very supportive of it. So it's definitely an ongoing practice, ongoing journey. But just like overall, like when your body gets out of the malnutrition, your brain gets more calories, and it's easier to also rewire the thoughts, think positively, as we said before, then all of that will also start to affect how you view yourself and how you view your body. But also don't expect that just by eating enough and resting, your body image like will take care of itself. I would still suggest like actively keep on working on it. Work on things like self-care, self-compassion, how you talk to yourself, meet your needs, reframe your thoughts, question your limiting beliefs, and keep on like unbrainwashing yourself from this diet culture. So to actively keep working on your body image and also the relationship you have with yourself. And another common sign I hear quite often is people experience that they are laughing more. And this doesn't mean that before they weren't like laughing at all or something, but maybe now it's just like more genuine, and they feel a lot funnier and they get jokes easier. And as I said before, that it may feel like they're getting like parts of their like old personality back again. Their moods improve and they're able to not take themselves or life too seriously. They are more laid back, more chill. So laughing more more, weirdly, is another positive sign and symptom of full recovery that I hear about all the time. And lastly, you may experience that you are more focused on your life in general, your family, friends, your work. You are more focused on other aspects of your life other than the food you eat or how your body looks. Maybe you feel like socializing more, being more with your family or with your friends. Maybe you have some new interests or hobbies. Maybe you want to study something new, or you just have more time and focus to your work. Maybe you want to travel, you want to go out, you want to meet people and have new experiences. So there is more energy and focus in doing other stuff and finding other important stuff that are more meaningful and more valuable to them. And overall, I would say the effect of recovery is that it will help you to get back connection with others, but also connection with yourself, with your goals, with your values. When eating disorder was all about destroying that connection, then recovery is all about bringing back that connection. So it's truly a beautiful thing if you start to see it happening. So this is it for today's video. I really hope it was helpful for you. And if you haven't seen the other video about 9 physical signs of full recovery, then please check out that video as well. I'm gonna link it down below. And if you want to know more about recovery, check out my book, Everything I Did to Get to My Full Recovery, and also check out the online courses I have on my website. All the links will be in the description. And please like this video and also subscribe to my channel, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.